We are not against anything, but we are saying if students are not vaccinated because their parents choose not to be vaccinated, I'm saying you are welcome here. I'm prepared to teach the unvaccinated. Founder and operator of this little home school. It's called the CBD school, and the main purpose is just to fill the gaps that now exist in the education system. So if a child is not in school for some reason, the gates are open, and whatever the needs are, especially one-on-one, I'm there to offer. For my early learners, there are 17 basic skills that I know a child must develop before he reaches 6. And I aim to get them develop those things. Visual discrimination of numbers, letters, when we talk about the sound of them, shapes, colors. So there are some basic skills that you must have them develop. The motor skills to allow them to write properly and comfortably, you have to develop all of those things. So all of that is within me because I market this early learning program. It's called 3 Steps Ahead. Which build and develop these 17 skills. So all of that is within me, and once I see the need or the skills to be developed, I just work on them one-on-one and develop them.
So what are the subject areas that they cover? Reading, writing, or what?
Early childhood is broad, but when it reaches to the primary school level, I just work with the curriculum, the government's curriculum. So I stick to the maths, the language arts, the integrated studies, and by the time they reach grade 4, we split the integrated studies thing and go into science, social studies, religious education. But as I said, the reading and comprehension is something they do every day. And I think that is where my success anchors. As early as 8 o'clock, kids come in, those who are online. They come with their device, and I assist if I can assist. And by 10 o'clock, some more would come in. And then a new shift starts at 3 o'clock. So it's there like about 2 shifts. So some of them are now getting ready to go home, and then a few more will be coming in at 3:30. We are not against anything, but we are saying if students are not vaccinated because their parents choose not to be vaccinated, I'm saying you are welcome here. I'm prepared to teach the unvaccinated.
How do you manage to fund it? How is it?
Well, the parents are the funders. They give a contribution from time to time. It's not really mandatory, but they do a fine job.
What has been the reaction in terms of their success and so?
Success is great. One of the greatest achievements is that I get them to read. And once you can get a child to read, then he's halfway towards educational success. So that is the main thing, to get them to read. As it relates to homework and classwork and preparation for tests, I also assist and see great results from that as well.
What is the kind of assistance that you need?
We need a roof.
Okay.
Yeah, when it rains, we are only restricted to one area.
Okay.
And that's not so much good. So my main need is to get a roof.
Over this building.
I'm not antagonistic to them. I'm not hating anybody or upset with anybody. I just want them to realize that they cannot treat people as sport and security officer. My duties included all of NEPA's assets in terms of beach properties, offices around the island, the maintenance of the buildings, basically motor vehicles. I was responsible for motor vehicle maintenance, motor vehicle assignments, and security at the offices, and also for safety in terms of, for example, hurricane or earthquake preparedness, that sort of thing. So those are basically what my duties entail. So I have to do a lot of drills and things like that for disaster preparedness, and write procedures and all of that.
So you had to do a lot of monitoring site visits. And
Yes,
so
yes,
on.
I had to do site visits very regularly. As I had mentioned to you earlier in the other interview, when I went blind, I just asked them to let me go out with someone who would just be my eyes, and this was a part of my staff, and just for maybe about 3 or 4 times for the month, because I know in my head, like the back of my hand, what all the properties look like, and he would just let me know what he sees, and I would say what is up. But they told me no, they refused it, and so I had to. On weekends, I still needed to get the work done, so I would go with my wife, and she would be my eyes, telling me what is, So even in my blindness, I did a lot of renovation work, construction work, on beaches, on neighbors' properties, within budget, never went out of budget, never a variation, and I got very good commendations for it, even when I was blind. So that was the basic part of my duties.
Right. So even if let's assume the agency said that, notwithstanding you're perhaps interested in continuing to do so, they may think that maybe for your own safety, as well as for whatever other reason, that maybe they don't agree with you continuing that role. But you're saying that they never offered you another position.
They never offered me another position. They never offered me another position. And I can understand if they have a problem, because I'm not going to sit down and argue. If you have an opinion, you have an opinion. You can only go by my record. And if my record is not speaking to you, it doesn't mean that I'm laid up in bed. I can't do anything. I can't move. So even another position makes me able to work.
Right.
Yeah. If you don't want me to do that, I'm not going to quarrel with you, because that is your opinion. And if you think that my record doesn't make much sense to you, then we can discuss that somewhere else.
Okay. All right. And you had gone through the I suppose what do they call it, using assisted reading or.
Yes. At the Jamaica Society for the Blind, I did a 12-week course in the use of the computer. And also I got an iPhone from my brother abroad, and that also helps because it caters more to the blind. It's been very hard though. It's been very hard, and I lost a lot of confidence when I was told to go home, and a lot of my dignity, and it built back slowly. With the Jamaica Society for the Blind really helped immensely in that. And I'm back to myself, basically.
So, what has been the impact on your family, for example?
It has been very difficult. If it wasn't for my wife, who stuck with me right through, I am almost sure that I'll be homeless, because there's no income coming, no landlord is going to sit down with me and say, okay, And my son helped where he could. My wife has been with me, taking me to my appointments, my medical appointments. I'm on dialysis. I was on it when I was at NEPA. She takes me there. And she does everything. She's just, I can't say anything. I don't know the words to use to describe, but if it wasn't for her, I don't know what would have happened to me. And she built my confidence immensely. It has been hard on the family because I was the major breadwinner, and so we have had to struggle a lot. We have had to take charity, if you want to call it that, from other family members. It is not the same as earning your own.
How has that made you feel about that?
About NEPA?
Yes.
Oh, let me, about NEPA, all right.
The fact that you were treated the way you were treated,
right, I was
by an entity that you had spent so many years of your life
right.
with.
I was treated that way by a few. So it's not, I'm not going to say it's NEPA in the sense that it was all of NEPA, because there are people there who supported me, there are people there who you know, it's the top management of NEPA was a problem I have with them. I'm not antagonistic to them. I'm not hating anybody or upset with anybody. I just want them to realize that they cannot treat